gardeners, Amy here with Garden Up. Today I'm going to show you what to do when the middle of your lavender dies. So sometimes even the most healthy lavender plants can die back a bit in the middle, and that's usually caused by something happening in the winter. This last winter of 22-23, everything was actively growing when we had that sudden freeze and deep heavy snow. So what happened was all the tissue that was growing wasn't acclimated to winter yet. It wasn't prepared for winter, and so it just died. So all of this dieback on our lavenders and our roses and several other plants is a result of the winter we just had. So, but now it looks all ugly. Well, what do we do about it? Well, we want to open this up in the center so that light and airflow and stuff can get in there, and maybe it can regrow from the base. Mine is actually already regrowing from the middle, so that's good. It is early June when I'm filming this. Not the best time. I should have done this like a month ago. But, you know, life's life. We get busy. So anyway, let's get right to it. You're going to need hand pruners and probably loppers. Some of these, especially the older plants, these branches can get really big. First step is to just get in there and start cutting what you can easily see and get to, because if you try to make correct cuts right away, you won't be able to get your tools down in there amongst all the other branches. So you need to just kind of work your way down and then go back and make correct cuts later. That's my experience with this anyway. It's a slow and rather tedious process. First we're going to take out the dead, right? This branch looks dead back here, but it actually has a lot of live growth coming off of it, so I'm going to leave it for now. I might change my mind later, but for right now I'm going to leave that. I'm just taking out the dead stuff. Okay, same here. This branch, I was about to cut it, but it's got all this growth on the top. So this branch, same thing. I was about to cut right here because this just looks dead and hideous, but it's got all this green growth at the top. So you want to check and be real careful before you actually make cuts. This is alive, but this is not. So I'm going to cut this one. I'm going to make the cut correct because I can. I can see it, I can reach it, so I'm going to cut that joint correctly. This is alive, this isn't. So I'll go back and make a cut right on that collar. This is a woody plant, so it has branch bark collars. Okay, this is dead all the way to the top. So I'm going to go all the way to the bottom if I can. I'll at least go that far, and then maybe I'll go a little farther. Can I get farther down? Yep, here we go, here we go. There. There, got it. One of these has growth, the other two do not. Take off the two. This one, this is dead. This stuff's actually still kind of alive. I might leave that for now. I might change my mind later, but I'm going to leave it for now. This is dead. There's a little bit of growth on these, but there's a lot of growth back here. And the thing is, if you take off a little bit of growth at the end, it'll spur more growth back where it's healthier. So that one, I feel like it was a beneficial idea to take it all the way back. Good. Okay, so now that I'm done with all the really dead stuff, I can take a step back and I can assess what's left. Basically, I've got 3-4 really long branches left and a whole bunch of basal growth. In this case, so this is a fairly new lavender. I only planted this maybe 3 years ago. I could take all of these off and just let this growth come back and fill in. But these are about to bloom already, so I think I'll leave these for this year. And then as soon as these are done blooming, I'm actually going to take them all the way to the base too. And then next year all of this stuff will grow. I'm not positive on lavenders if they bloom on new growth or not, like new wood, like down here. I don't see any buds setting on these. So if these bloom, it'll be later summer, but these are about to bloom in a few weeks. So I'll probably let these go, and then I'll cut these off all the way to the base, and then I'll still have a nice round lavender with a brand new shape. It'll be like having a whole new plant. And then next year, all of this stuff should bloom. If it doesn't bloom later this year, I don't know. I've never actually observed this part of it. And that's one thing I'm seeing, is all these lavenders that died back a lot are coming back from the base. So yay for that. So what if your lavender is not a fairly new plant you only put in 2 or 3 years ago, it's not fairly small. What if it's a 10 or 15-year-old monstrosity? It's the same concept, okay? I just pruned back some at a client's house yesterday. I planted those, I think, in 2013, 2014, so they were almost 10 years old, and they were huge. These things were 5 foot in diameter easily, and they were all dead in the center, and they had all these long woody branches with growth on the ends, but then a whole bunch of dead in the center. But once I was able to cut out all the dead, I found more growth in the center. So the concept is the same, they're just a little bit harder to get down into, but once you can get down in there, you'll probably see new growth. And if you don't, just give it some water and give it some time. It'll either come back or it won't. That's really the bottom line here. Once you step back and assess what's left, you might decide that the plant is too far gone and it's time to replace it anyway. That's still an option. It's not great, sure, but it's an option. I'm going to take care of this other one and then we're going to sign off. Okay, so this one has a little bit of growth at the end, but not much for the size of branch. And there's plenty of other growth, so I'm going to take it off. If it wasn't this healthy, I might not have taken that. But given just how much beautiful green new growth there is, I can stand to lose one big old gnarly branch with a little tuft of green at the end. Same thing here. There's 2 big gnarly old branches with some green, but I just don't think that amount of green justifies that much brown. Especially the ones underneath, they tend to die back just because they don't get enough light. Now, I'm stepping back and I'm looking at this. This branch is sticking out oddly, and so is this one. I'm going to leave these for now, this one and this one, because they're about to bloom. But if I had done this earlier, or what I'm actually going to do is wait till later, like after they finish blooming, I'm going to take off this one, and I'm going to take off this one. I want the flowers just because that's really what I garden for, but afterwards, I'm going to take those off so I can regain that nice round shape. And then I think they'll look good for a good number more years. Thanks for watching that video, everybody. I hope you learned something and it was of value to you. Remember, if you liked the video, tell me so by hitting the like button. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe for more gardening content like this. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the garden.